Hi, I'm Mel Anderson. Hope you're enjoying the Fruit Park YouTube channel.
So we're back, and this time around we're going to be talking about a passion of Ian's, and that's groundsmanship. And we'll be talking in particular about the death knell period of Milton, that sort of late 90, where the role of Milton had slowly but surely wound down. And Davis Cup, you've got a very interesting story with the Russians playing Davis Cup out at QE2, and how that really wasn't, in their minds, so successful.
Yes, Peter. Talking about Milton first up, the last World Tour event was held at Milton in approximately 1994, and I think that was one of our players involved in that time. And then shortly after that, it was time to vacate Milton. And the Australian Davis Cup squad, Tennis Australia was always trying to get a Davis Cup tie in Australia, and I think they were always looking at Queensland at being the place to hold that particular tie. So we had the Commonwealth Games in Queensland in the early 80s, and of course there was a facility there with stands and good facilities to hold a major sporting event. And they had, or people of those times, they had the foresight to produce grass tennis courts. So at the end of the football field at QE2, they properly constructed a tennis court that could be utilised by utilising the current stands there and putting temporary stands around to make a stadium.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that was properly constructed with drainage, proper grasses and what have you, so that if an event did come, they had a grass court facility available.
With modern stands that didn't give you splinters.
That's right, yeah. And also, at that time, of course, when you've got a main stadium, you have to have practice courts. And the training field next to the main stadium at QE2, on the north, east and northwest ends of that particular training field, they constructed grass courts as well, and they were to be the training courts.
Yeah.
Now, I think it was 1999 that they eventually were able to obtain the Davis Cup to be played in Brisbane at QE2 Stadium. And they went through the processes of developing and turning it into a facility that could house the Davis Cup.
Yep.
Pat Rafter, I think, and Mark Philippousis, they had injuries at the time, and there was a start for Leighton Hewitt, and I think the guy's name was Wayne Arthurs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wayne came in as the other singles players, and they had other doubles players at that time as well. But eventually Australia won that particular tie 4-1. And going back to the grass courts themselves, John Newcombe, he was the captain at that time, and he came to Milton with his squad, and he wanted to practice on the main courts. And of course they allowed him to go in for an hour or so a day, but whilst the Australians were practicing, the actual Russians turned up, and they saw the Australians on the court, so they wanted their practice period as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you can imagine with grass courts, with practicing on them for a short period of time, they still get wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when it came to the actual playing of the Davis Cup, Australia were starting to win the rubbers and get ahead, and the Russians started to complain, and of course they came up with the stories of we're playing on a football field, or we're playing potato patch. And I
Yeah.
think they were the things that came out in the papers. But anyhow, Australia won 4-1, and yes, well, I suppose that was the Davis Cup of 1999 in Brisbane.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that there was a long time after that before we actually managed to get another Davis Cup, unfortunately. And your
Hi, I'm Jimmy Shepherd. I hope you're all enjoying the Fruit Park Milton videos on YouTube.